guys, Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to another Thrifty review. It is Friday where we look at products in stick form, and we are getting to the Derwent ChromaFlow colored pencil review today. So I'm trying something new with this video. As we do the review, I am also going to be showing the last painting demo for these pencils to the opposite side of the screen. So hopefully I'm gonna line the shooting of this video up so that when I go back to do the editing, it'll be right. Well, we shall see, we shall see. So we've already done an unboxing for these pencils. I will be sure to link it in the video so that you guys can have access to it if you want to go back and watch that. So I won't go over a lot of the preliminary information other than to just tell you guys that, of course, we know that this is a Derwent art product. They're made in Britain, the UK area. Yeah, and it was a pretty nice tin. Latch opens pretty well, no issues or complications with that. They gave you information about the company on the inside of the tin. You received 24 pencils in small trays of 12. And of course the tin is pretty deep in case you want to use it for something else if you ever decided you wanted to do that. You can take the pencils out of here and store other pencils that you buy open stock, because I do believe you can purchase these pencils open stock. All right, let's get one quick thing out the way. Let's just jump straight to the light fastness. Okay, so I did search around Derwent's site. I was not able to find a light fast chart to post in the video. The only information that I found on the pencils as far as light fastness was concerned, that specific light fast ratings for these pencils are not published, but they have been tested to perform comparably to other branded light fast products in a similar price range. The light fast performance is also similar to other highly pigmented products within the Derwent range of professional quality pencils. So that's the only information that the site actually gives on the pencils now, meaning that you would have to take Derwent's word for it that the pencils are comparably light fast to other pencils that are in their range. But I do know that Derwent actually makes a pencil called the light fast pencil. They have a light fast pencil, so that would definitely be the one that I would recommend if you were looking for ultimate light fastness out of their pencils. But for me, that's neither here nor there. As long as they outlast me, they've done their job. So that's pretty much the packaging. The barrel of the pencil was circular, or is circular, should I say. If you remember, the information that was on it was the name and a number. So there's two identifiers, the logo of the company, and that the pencils are made in Britain. There was a capped end on the pencil with a color swatch. Now, let me grab swatch sheet. Here we are. Okay, so the barrel of the pencils are relatively close to the color swatching. They are not exact. I would suggest swatching the pencils out. But some of them, are pretty dead on. The thing about color pencils, though, is that you can typically look at the lid of the pencil and be able to distinguish what color it is. I mean, because of course the color of the lid is pretty spot on. So that's that on that. Now, you couldn't see if the lid was centered based on the fact that it is dome, but I will say I sharpened the pencils and the pencils did seem pretty centered to me as far as that's concerned. They sharpen really, really well. You can get a really nice point on them. And the really great thing is that they don't break. I didn't experience much breakage with them at all. Well, actually, I don't think I experienced any breakage. I had one pencil break on me while doing a field test, but outside of that, I was able to sharpen them. And there was no issues. Now, they do wear down pretty fast. I will say that, because the lid of the pencil is super soft. I mean, super soft. It is as soft as a Prismacolor. And I'll be really honest, Prismacolor is, of course, as you guys know, one of my favorite pencils. I also happen to like the Masters Touch Fine Art Studio collection of color pencils, the ones that were produced in 2010. Let me be specific about that because I'm not sure who produces their pencils now. I think that those pencils are really good. I was okay with the Arteza Expert Color pencils, but this was the ones that, again, were produced back in 2019. I've heard that their pencils have changed. And you'll find that a lot with budget art companies. They may change the manufacturers, so the quality of their products may shift. The thing about a legacy company like Duran, who produces their own products, you don't necessarily have to worry about the quality of the product changing sporadically because they're going to be using the same formula. And typically when they do change the formula, they will announce it or post it or something. And so they're a pretty trustworthy art company, you know. So that's why I'm kind of okay with taking their word for the fact that they are light fast and in comparison to, excuse me, other pencils in their price range. So there you have that. Now the pencils swatched out really well. Here, I did this swatching in the original unboxing video with you guys. They glide on the paper really smooth, which attributes to why they lay down, or I'm sorry, why they wear down so fast. You don't have to use a lot of pressure, and they weren't uncomfortable to hold, which means that they're not going to cause a lot of issues with like maybe arthritis, or if you have hand issues. I don't think you will with these pencils because you do not have to exert a lot of pressure in order to get a good color payoff. However, if you do, the saturation just constantly builds, and the pencils did layer on top of each other pretty consistently. You can get some pretty nice coverage with them. You know, with the pencils, I used 3 primaries here in order to make this kind of, actually I was testing, excuse me, the mixability of the pencils as far as the pigment or the color is concerned. And I was also testing how they blended, which they excelled in both of those categories. Again, that being one, you know, kind of pumped up by the fact that they're so soft. Here I did some other color blending tests. I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. Some other color blending tests. 2 different purples here, an orange and a green. Love the saturated greens that I was able to get from mixing. And the pencils themselves are bright and saturated, just standalone. Now, the range is much larger than the 24 pencils that are in this set. However, I do believe this is a really good place to start because you have a really nice range of colors. They're pretty diverse here, and they mix and blend well, so you can make other clean colors with this pigment, with the pigments in these pencils. So that was pretty impressive. The platinum gray, I really don't, for me personally, think that I would really have any use for it. Probably, maybe for highlighting. It's probably really good for blending. I just didn't personally use it. The white wasn't as saturated as I would like it to be. I was able to use it to get secondary highlights. It was really good for blending other colors together without adding too much opacity. So it did work in those attributes, but I personally like a really opaque white pencil. So that's the only reason it was lacking for me. The black itself was also really saturated. I didn't feel like it needed to be helped or bumped up or pumped up with anything. It worked really good for shadowing, doing shadow colors, without adding that kind of fake look that blacks tend to add sometimes if you use them. And that's nothing against black because I use it all the time. There have just been times when I found it to be a bit too heavy. I didn't experience that with this particular black pigment. All right, so we did some testing. We did a smudge test. The pencils smudge a little bit, not much, just a very little bit. They'll move just a little bit with water, nothing like a watercolor pencil. I was pretty impressed with that because lately I've tried budget color pencils that almost seem to be watercolor pencils because they activate or they move so well with water. That's not the case here. So that was really good. Now, they do move really well with mineral spirits. Now, the very first demo I did was in that unboxing video. And here I did the background, and I smoothed the background out using Gamsol Odorless Mineral Spirit. Let me see if I have that bottle. I'll show you guys what I was using. So this is what I was using. Now, an odorless mineral spirit in layman's term is a product that's going to break down the wax in the pencil. And it's going to allow the pigment to lay down into the paper, exposing more tooth, giving you the ability to layer pencil on top of what you've done without losing too much tooth, you know, more layerability. So that's sort of, or that's what Gamsol does. Now, this particular one is an odorless mineral spirit, meaning that you cannot smell it. It is not something that you want to ingest or anything that you want any of your pets to ingest. So I do advise you to exercise caution when you're using this product, okay? Just a disclaimer, I want everybody to be safe. Here I tried blending it with alcohol because I was aware that, you know, sometimes you can use like a colorless alcohol blender. Let me see if I have one. Yes. Okay, so here is a colorless alcohol blender that I had in just my Roland Langnickel art marker set. And basically it's a blender. It's just a brush. It's or alcohol marker. There's nothing but alcohol in it. And that's actually leaking a little bit on my paper. But I used that to blend out because you can use those. And it moved okay with that. Not as much as it did with the mineral spirit, but it moved okay. It could be, I see that it could possibly be used, especially if you were using the color pencil in like crafting, for card making, or maybe for journaling, and you wanted to kind of blend that pigment out a little bit. And then I also tried baby oil because that's an old household technique that you can use to blend your pencils out. Now, they did not blend out nearly as well as the spirits or the alcohol with the baby oil. It left a lot more texture than the other two did. And the thing about baby oil is, from my experience, once you use it to blend out your color pencils, unlike alcohol and mineral spirits, it doesn't seem to leave the tooth exposed, so you can't really do a lot of layering on top. But that's just been my experience with the baby oil. But it will work in a pinch. And then next I tried an erase test, which that particular blue pigment I was expecting to be more staining. It really did lift well out of this mixed media paper on top of all of that. I would expect it to lift decently out of a more toothy paper, like say a watercolor paper, or maybe a paper that was sized more to. But this mixed media paper, and this is Canson Artist Series, it doesn't have a lot of tooth. It almost seems like it should be hot pressed to me, but it's not. Anyway, with that said, all of those tests seem to work really well with the pencils. I didn't find many drawbacks with them at all. Let me show you the last little artwork piece that I did, and I'm gonna go back and do another one here just so I can balance off this page. I just wasn't doing it for I didn't need to do it in order to go ahead and get this review done. So this is the demo that's been playing to the right of the screen if everything is set up right. Since I've been doing this review, I really enjoyed doing this. It was a lot of fun. It was something different, kind of do a ladybug in a close-up aspect, kind of get the details in. It was really, it was fun. And I say try things like this, you know, try doing little quirky, whimsical things, which you guys know I love. I think it helps to open up the creative spirit. It can inspire you, which is what I hope happens from all of these things that I try to share with you guys. I enjoy it, and I'm glad that you guys come to watch. Tell a friend to come to watch, okay? Tell a friend, come watch him, subscribe. And if you're joining us and you haven't subscribed yet, this your first time, hit the subscription bell button. Even if you're back watching another video and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscription button for me, guys. All right. So here I use the black, beautiful. The control that you're able to use the pencils, because it's like, oh, you have to be careful because you can't add more pigment than you want if you're used to using a more budget pencil, because these are so soft. But worked out beautifully. I used a scarlet red in order to do the mass tone for most of the ladybug, and I did add a Prismacolor Tuscan red because I didn't want to try to blend too many colors and lose the luminosity that I had gotten from that Scarlet. I really just wanted one color that would knock it out. So the base layer there is black, and then after I put in the mask tone of the Scarlet, I kind of did where the black was and covered it in Tuscan red from the Prismacolor line. But outside of that, that was the only outside pencil that I used. Really, I think it turned out nice. I like it. I'm gonna do some more of these, just some more up close studies of like bugs and different things. I'm just trying to, you know, become versed in a lot of different drawing a lot of different types of things. So there you have that, guys. Was there anything else about these pencils I feel like I needed to cover? If you're asking me if I recommend them, I definitely do. The pencils are not super expensive. They are currently on Amazon for $22.60. I think that's what I remember seeing this morning, which puts them somewhere around 93-94 cents a pencil, which is really good for a Durant pencil, I believe, under $1. Normally, I think they're about $5 higher, somewhere in the $26-27 range. So right now, from what I checked earlier this morning, they were on sale. I do believe you can get them from Jerry's website as well, and I'm sure you can get them from some other places. Jerry's website, they're going to run you somewhere between $25 and $30 if I'm not mistaken. I'll link those in the video description if I don't forget. And I think but of course you can always go to the Google search engine. But there you have that, guys. I definitely recommend pencils. They're not expensive. I think they are a wonderful alternative to Prismacolor. As far as quality, I think they stand up to Prismacolor. What they have over Prismacolor is that I don't feel like they break as much. What they have over Masters Touch Fine Art Studio is that I feel like I can trust Durant's. These pencils are light, fast statement more than I can trust a craft company like Masters Touch. Although I do love those pencils. The one thing that they have over the Arteza is that I can be sure that this is going to be a consistent quality pencil. Whereas with Arteza, I'm not sure how many times they may end up changing manufacturers. So yeah, they're a good buy. And as far as the price is concerned, I think they're very comparable to pencils in their price range, because I paid $30 for the Masters Touch. I think I paid about $40 for the Arteza. And of course, the Prismacolor set hit me at the time that I got it for about $100, and that was on sale. So great buy. Larger range of pencils if you want to expand it. I definitely recommend it. Hopefully you guys heard, saw, picked up on something, enjoyed hanging out, enjoyed being able to come see other people's comments. Whatever you enjoyed, hit that like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Don't forget that you can share the video. Sharing is caring. Maybe to get this information in front of someone who really needs or want to see it. Hit the subscription button and go ahead and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Keep in mind that the video description has all of the relevant links. You can find the most recommended products, the link for the Facebook group, Paints, Pencils, Pastels, and Markers, where all artists and crafters are welcome. The Etsy shop, which is being, updated over the next couple of days and weeks. And then, of course, now there is the link for Patreon. I have finally started with Patreon. There is just one level of membership up if anybody is interested. That membership is going to give you access to traceable outlines that you can use in order to follow along with the videos, and just other different little perks that come. There will be other tiers added later on that will include like full-time, full-length detailed videos of certain projects that have speed paintings on YouTube. So a whole lot of different things that'll be coming along. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every single video, just keep painting and crafting.